I'm with Ted Daigle. This man's a legend in the Ottawa Valley in the country music field, broadcaster, musician, performer, and a character. How you doing, Ted?
How are you, Lyle? It's good to talk to you today.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to you about your career, and people know your days on CKBY. They know you as making records and playing around the valley for years now. But go back to when you started. How did you get into country music, Ted?
Well, we're going to take it back to the Maritimes, to Bathurst, New Brunswick.
And that's where you
were... a little town called Jacket River. And Ray Griff, a good buddy of mine, wrote a song about my hometown not too long ago. And I had the occasion just recently to go back home, and a sweet trip, because I was lucky enough to be inducted into the New Brunswick Country Music Hall of Fame.
Now, I went and took my daughter to see the Rolling Stones. We went by train, and I was listening to the radio, and I heard them say that was going to happen.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, we were going down through Bathurst and Miramichi.
Yes.
So where did you say you come from again?
It's a little town on the north shore of New Brunswick, right along the Bay Shore, called Jacket River.
And that's where you started?
Yes. Well, no, that's where I was born, and then my first radio gig was at CKBY in Bathurst.
Okay.
I was there for a couple of years. And just back in the golden age of country music, and all of the tours would stop at the radio station in return for free plugs for their show that night, and most of them would bring their bands over there and would do an interview and talk about the show, what was going to happen at the concert that night, and they would play live in our studio.
Cool. And
I was lucky, to be on the ground floor of that early stage of country music. And one day I'll never forget, New Brunswick Hall of Famer by the name of Kid Baker, one of the greatest country music bands in Canada at the time, stopped over, did an interview, and had his band with him, and we did a live show that day from our studios. And one thing led to another, and he learned that I wanted to record, and he offered his band that day, and I taught him the board, which was not that complicated in those days. And he offered his band, and I cut my first record with the Kid Baker Band, song called Bitter Tears.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Right on the spot. You didn't even know you went to work one day and didn't know it was going to happen.
That's right, man. Instant stardom.
Well, excellent. Well, so now I've heard you on vinyl, so you obviously went somewhere from there.
I'm sorry?
Well, I've heard you on old vinyl records and that.
Yes.
So you obviously went somewhere from there.
That's right.
Would you went to Nashville or Toronto or?
No. From CKBC in Bathurst, it was up to Thunder Bay, which is Fort William, Port Arthur, the Twin Cities at the time. Worked up at a brand new radio station there, CJHR, for a couple of years, and then moved here to Ottawa, which was probably the best move I ever made.
Yeah, and then
it's been home since I arrived here in 61, and it's home now.
I remember we got a little radio, our first FM radio, and on Saturday mornings we'd hear you on CKBY. I think you had a Saturday morning country show, and then what happened there? It went daily or something for a while, and then the next thing you know, I remember the big thing. It was 24 hours a day. Yeah. Well,
when I arrived here from Thunder Bay, I did a 4-hour shift, 12 to 4 on CKOY.
Right, the AM.
Yeah, and every hour had a different kind of music, different genres of music, and I tell you, the 3 to 4 hour was the one I looked forward to because it featured my favorite kind of music, country music. I did that for a number of years, and then in I moved in 67 to CFGM in Toronto.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to work with a full-time country music radio station. And
what do they call that? Canada's Country Hoedown or something like that?
That was the Tommy Hunter show. This was CFGM in Toronto. And as much as I enjoyed the music there, I missed Ottawa terribly, and there was word around that they would open an FM radio station, and I would be involved in that. And as a matter of fact, July 2nd, 1972, CKBY went full-time country, and I was lucky to be there in formative years, worked with a great group of people, and it became the most listened to country music station in Canada. It was a great trip. Worked there for a number of years.
And Teddy, and how? I mean, all of a sudden, like I was a teenager then, I loved country music, and then all of a sudden you started hearing Ron McMahon on the air again on FM, Ralph Carlson, Wayne Rostad. Wayne Rostad was one of your DJs, right? And it was incredible, the people that came on. Not only did you have the station, but you started to have a club scene started to happen. You had a country scene started to happen, and wow, it was really exciting.
Well, Ottawa became one of the hotbeds for country music. As a matter of fact, some of the things that are happening Canada-wide now originated here in Ottawa, which includes the Big Country Week, which originated here.
Yeah.
And, the first, before that, all they had was a chicken dinner and say, here's your award, thank you for coming.
Right.
But we made it a week-long event with, as you say, with the clubs saluting all of the local talent. And the thing is, from day one, from down home, we featured, we were a good corporate citizen and featured and reflected what happened in the community. And I did pretty much the same thing when I was programming CKBY, and that this area seemed to spawn a great deal of talent that later on, went to become known Canada-wide. And, it's for that reason that the talent search was so successful. Christmas in the Valley became one of the hottest projects in the country, raising, hundreds of thousands of dollars and exposing some unknown people, to go along in these albums with already established stars. So, this was long before it was legislated that you play Canadian content. We played them because they deserved it.
They were good.
Yeah.
And not only
I think that's the only reason to play a song.
Yeah, and so were you, though. I mean, you don't talk about your records, but you started coming out with Wayne Rostad's Lolly Ray, and how much time does it take to get it right?
Yes.
And your song there, I'll sign the papers and you can leave today. Man, that was every band I ever played with, someone had to sing that tune.
That Dallas Harms.
Did he write that?
From Hamilton wrote that song. And that I've been to Nashville a number of times, but only recorded there once. And that was one of the songs.
He wrote Paper Rosie, didn't he?
So yes, he did.
Yeah, that was.
Yes. He wrote a number of songs that were made famous in the States by Gene Watts, and then of course that was one of them.
And the Old Man and His Horn, and that's right. But you, so you were not just like a guy on the radio, and it can't be underestimated, Ted. I mean, General Grant was a legend on CFRA, but you were right up there with him, and Hal Botham on CJET. And I even think Vic Garbutt here on our station, you have that fatherly voice that, that you can trust.
Well, my son.
Yeah, you know what I mean, though, Ted. It's like a voice you can trust that voice. I remember, was it Bill Lee or something was a morning man for you for a while, wasn't he?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, he had the same thing.
As a matter of fact, Bill was one of the program directors of CKBY, and I learned a lot from Bill in the early days.
Well, it's just you just had one of those voices. So when you came on and you used to say, I'm behind a star-studded microphone or something, diamond.
Probably rhinestone encrusted microphone.
That's it. But I would hear you in the morning. I listened to the morning show, and then you would come on, and the word around the musicians in the Valley was that Ted really just wants to play the songs, and I don't know, how did they say it? They just said you just wanted to play the music and let the people hear it.
That's right.
Yeah.